Way!
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Man, look. As always, man, let's go for a drive. Let's have a chat. But man, I gotta know, what song lights your fire?
Mate, I'm a bit of an old school boy, mate. I go back a long way.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the oldies, mate. So this one here is People Every Day by Arrested Development.
Yes. Well, guess what? It's so good because I've been listening to this thing. Let's get it up.
Whoa! Hey! Oh! Yeah! Come on, there, everyday people! And everyday people! And again. Hey! That's the one, bro. That's what it does. That one lights me every morning. You know, I'm a bit of a 5 a.m. bloke, mate, and I get out. I've had my my radiola. It's a little bit of a supplement I take, mate. Boosts me up, and put my phones in my ears, mate, out the door, and that charges me every day, mate.
Man, I love it. And do you know what? We go back to 2003, 2004, and ever since I've known you, you've been high energy. Seems like you're always on. And so, man, Dino, I just absolutely love having you here, being part of the Carpool Honchos, man. One of the Carpool Honchos. You've done some incredible things. You made an impact in my life and many others that are here at the Crate. So, man, I just wondered if you can kind of talk about, you know, a little bit about business. Let's talk a bit about your journey of business, navigating COVID, navigating 2020 and beyond. Should we do this? Right. So, Dino, as someone who's run successful companies across, you know, different areas from digital marketing, you know, software development, of course, the Crate, and of course, you know, weight loss coaching works. What has been the number one thing, you know, the number one piece of advice that you'd give to business owners right now?
Well, I mean, right now, of course, it's a messy market. It's a loud market. There's lots of things going on. There's lots of distractions.
Yeah.
So the most important thing, of course, is for any business, is just, you got to stand out.
Yeah.
You got to stand out from the crowd. You got to do something quirky. You know, there's one little tip that I've always known in my years of starting companies is quirky works. You know, right now we're doing the Carpool Honcho, right?
Yeah,
It's something a little bit quirky, a little bit different.
True.
And we're getting a lot of viewership and we're standing out. We're being noticed. You've got to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
But some of my earlier stories was little quirky little marketing tips. I used to send out little literally live goldfish in a little white box with a little red bow on, and I'd literally send it out to the marketing manager when I had my digital marketing company, and I'd have a big sticker on saying "Caution, live animal." I'd have someone drop it off the receptionist as they take it down the hallway to the marketing, and it's sort of the water's sloshing and it's got weight to it, and, you know. And then I'd ring them, literally ring them within 5 minutes, and talk to them. By this time, the whole office is kind of opening their box up, you know. And my cold call wasn't a cold call anymore.
Wow.
I used to, haven't got a coffee cup right with me right now, but I'd ring up the receptionist of a company. I'd say, hey, listen, I want to drop the marketing manager a coffee. I need to know exactly how they like their coffee. If you find out for me, I'll buy you one too. Right. So she'd say, yeah, they like.
Of course she's going to do it, right? Of course she's going to do it. Yeah.
They'd say, you know, it's a latte with 1 sugar. Yeah. And so, you know, I had these little, doesn't matter, I just go to a local coffee shop down the road from this, so I could deliver it nice and hot. Yeah. And I'd have a coffee sleeve. And I've already handwritten on the coffee sleeve with my brand and everything on it saying, we have a habit of getting things just the way you like it. Yes. Latte with 1 sugar, question mark? Wow. And they're like, how the heck did you find that out, right? So just little things, quirky works, and you've got to stand up from the crowd.
So let's talk a bit about the Crate. You know, the Crate, what an incredible idea. I remember you talking about this. In fact, I remember I was sure we were connecting about 2011, 2012. And I remember seeing this, I came out to have a meeting with you. You literally had these pallet, you were beginning something new, right? There was pallet furniture and of course, you know, just leveraging on that sort of wooden pallet furniture, etc. And now it is what it is, you know, only just a matter of a few years later. Not to mention, co-working, shared space has become a thing, right?
Massive.
Do you want to take us just through that journey? Tell me a little bit about that, why you started it, and how have you been able to build it to what it is today?
Yeah. Well, we literally started it because I started my business in a bedroom at home. But we all know that working from home doesn't necessarily work, right?
Yeah.
And in my particular situation 10 years ago, I started to win customers with my digital marketing company. They'd be like, ringing me up saying, look, I'm just going to be over on your side of town today. I'll call into your office. Can we have coffee? I'm like, mate, I'm working out of a bedroom at home. That's not going to work. Oh no, it's okay, mate. I'm coming out your way. I'll meet you at a local cafe. So it just got awkward. So I had to find space. So long story short, I went out there and I actually shared some space with good friends of ours. But they had a few desks spare, and they employed a few more people. I employed a few more people, and next one I was out looking for space again. Yeah. But I wasn't ready to take on that massive commitment, a big long lease, or take that burden on my new startup business.
Right.
So I thought, stuff it. You know what? I'm going to go and rent a space, and I will put some desks and then I'll rent them out.
Yeah, right.
So I had no money,
Genius.
mate. I was running on freaking oil, the smell of an oily rag, as they say.
Right.
So I went and this is one of the naughtiest things I've done in business. I went and borrowed a few pallets from behind a few factories, won't say where, and whacked them together, bought some nice tops and made beautiful desks out of pallets.
Amazing.
And we had 12 desks spare after we put our team in there. And the coolest thing is, of course, before we even opened the doors, we had a month to set up. I pre-sold those 12 desks. Well, of course, that had a massive impact on our own lease requirements, and the cost of my startup was now very, very low. So that's really the beauty of the story of how we started. But I guess what really lights my fire when it comes to the crate today is that business is changing. People, it's changed. It's not changing. It has changed, and it's never gonna be the same again. Businesses more than ever have to be lean. They have to be agile. They can't commit themselves into long leases. Right now, when your biggest cost in any business is your staffing, right? Yeah. But let's be honest, as sad as and hard as the talk has to be, you can move staff on.
Yeah.
But if your next highest expense in any business is your lease.
Yeah.
And if you're locked into a 3, 5, 6 year lease and things start to change, and it's not necessarily COVID, it could be anything where new technology comes out and you've got to adapt to that, or you outsource part of your business to another company and you no longer need your warehouse or whatever it might be, you've got to be able to be agile. And that's where co-working shared spaces are really at the forefront of brilliant business operations right now. You're stupid to put yourself into a traditional, lease type agreement.
Very true.
They're like mortgages, mate.
Yeah.
You can't get out of them.
No.
You can't. I own the crate, and I like to get people out of leases.
Well, we get it all the time. It all the time.
I've knocked on the doors of lawyers and said, how can we do that? But they can't.
Yes.
They can't.
Yeah.
You're stuffed. You get into a lease, you're locked in, guys.
Yeah.
Whereas at the crate, you've got flexibility. You come in, you hire 10 desks.
Yeah.
If you need to go down to 5, you go down to 5.
Yeah.
You're 10, you want to go to 15, you go to 15. It's flexible. It breathes in and out with your business as you change.
100%.
So I get excited about that. That we can help. We give people certainty and stability through times of dramatic change.
100%.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's absolutely what's needed in the season as well, and moving forward. So Dino, I know that you have your own health company, and I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that journey, because I know that at some point, you weren't feeling so healthy, you weren't where you wanted to be in life.
No.
Yeah, you just weren't where you wanted to be. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, mate. Well, the truth is, mate, I used to be about 25 kilos heavier than what I am right now.
Wow.
And I'm not really proud to say that, but I guess it's good to be vulnerable and honest, because I think a lot of business people do kind of drive themselves into the gutter. Just typical Kiwi people, right? We get focused, we get into the trenches, we start digging, and we don't come up for air.
Yeah.
And in my case, mate, I was just had a lack of sleep, wasn't sleeping enough, was eating at the wrong times of the day, and just wasn't getting enough exercise,
Sure.
So thank goodness I actually found a mate of mine inspired me. He had lost 36 kilos, and I thought, mate, if he can do it, then I can do it. And I got onto this program, and I lost 25 kilos in 22 weeks, and
Incredible.
Maintained my health ever since. But the crazy thing was, I'd been overweight and unhealthy for about 7 to 10 years, and I changed it in 5 months. So we've all got to remember, we can change things pretty darn flippin' quickly if we put our mind to it.
Isn't it incredible that you can literally change your life? Of course, we usually talk about 2 degrees of separation as far as networks or connections is concerned, but you're literally the same. Like, you're one decision away from changing your life.
everything, business and life, your personal life, business life, it starts with a decision.
Wow.
Right? So stop thinking about it and actually put a decision in place. Take action.
Just going back as well to what you were saying about, fitness and the goals that you would set, and you lost, that many kilos within that many weeks. Incredible, within 5 months. Now, it's one thing to start something, right? We actually spoke to somebody today, right? It's not hard to start something.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to maintain things, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to talk just a bit about that, whether productivity or your habits, or how do you maintain everything you've done, right?
Well, the reality is you touched on it, habits.
Sure.
You have to make sure that you don't, you can't really, well, they say you can't change habits, you replace habits.
Okay.
Mate, my deal right now, how I've got into a groove is I'm up at 5 o'clock every day. There's something powerful about waking up.
Yep, there is.
Early.
Yep.
Not just waking up early.
Yeah.
Let's hope you wake up. Wake up early, and you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of most people that just sleep in and they wake up sluggish.
Yep.
And get into a routine. So I'm up really early. I always wake myself up with a shower. That's just my routine,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
I take a supplement called rhodiola, which is like a natural energy booster, and I get my walking shoes on and I'm out the door. I plug my favorite pump me up songs in my pods.
Yeah.
And I just start to walk as the sun starts to come up. By that time, I live pretty close to Long Bay Beach, so I'm probably about half an hour's walk from Long Bay Beach, and I walk down the beach, and then there's the sunrise there, and there's people on the beach, and fresh air. Doesn't matter if it's a sunny day or a wet rainy day, mate. It doesn't matter. Get out and start your day. Now, for me, of course, I'm going through my affirmations. But I'm just starting my day in a way that is healthy.
Yeah.
By the time I get back, mate, I'm on fire. I'm ready for the day. But I start the day like that on every day for a reason.
Yeah,
because
right.
how you start normally determines how you finish.
100%. And I think there is something to be said about, you've got to get to yourself before other people get to you, right?
Yeah.
You've got to set the standard. You've got to set this tone. You've got to set, the bar for how your day is going to go. And if you're going for that walk and you're setting up that song for yourself and you're setting those affirmations, you can only win on that, right?
Yeah.
And so if you've got, employees, or you've got, people that come into your business, or you've got things that happen, or crises, you name it, it's just not going to have the same effect that it would have on somebody who's already allowed for the door for other people to set the tone for their day. Rather, you've gone and been proactive and you've set the tone. Is that right?
So true, mate. You mentioned before about how I'm kind of a pretty positive, upbeat kind of person, but you can't maintain that if you're not creating space in your life to be recharged and refreshed. And for me to stay healthy, it's because I just start the day, I come back and I feel healthy, and I want to keep it that way.
Sure.
So it's a good way to do life and a good way to do business, mate.
Well, man, if there was any one piece of advice, just if you had one piece of advice for people who are starting out in business, starting out in a time of such uncertainty, what would you say to them right now?
Be bold and take the risk.
Just do it?
Be bold
Just
and
get
take
out?
the risk.
Yeah.
Most people don't achieve what they want because they simply don't try. Don't be a scaredy cat. What's the worst thing that could happen, guys? I have a affirmation that says that I live an adventurous life and I leave no regrets on the table. I don't want to finish this life thinking, gosh, I wish I tried that. God, I wish I gave it a go. I wish I had a go. Nah, stuff it. Just give it a go. What's the worst thing that could happen in this world to you? Well,
Dino, I thank you so much for, taking the time out today to be a part of the Carpool Honcho. Thank you so much for your time, your expertise. It's been an incredible time spending time with you, learning more about what makes you, what drives you, and the things that you've got going on at the moment. And so thank you so much for doing that.
It's been a pleasure, mate, and we're just having fun doing this, aren't we, mate?
Oh, it's
fun, and the people we're getting on and interviewing and sharing this time, and we hope that everybody out there is enjoying this as much as what we are.
Yeah, 100%. So thank you for that. And again, also big thank you for for this beautiful drive, for the beautiful Toyota Highlander as well. The Crate, and of course Business with Locals. Such incredible initiatives to connect entrepreneurs, business owners, creating great communities around the North Shore where people can actually thrive, find a community, find a place to grow their business, to develop it, to build their dreams. I think it's an incredible thing. And I know that that's just the heart behind what we do, the heart behind what you do and why you create these things. And let's go get it, right?
Yeah. Business with Locals is a networking membership that we have. And we have an event on the first Thursday night of every single month.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And you get use of our business lounge. You get free, drinks and hospitality on those events.
Yes.
You walk away with dozens of leads every time you come.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing opportunity for people. If you're interested out there to get connected and be part of a business network, please get a hold of the Crate, ring the Crate, or go to our website, thecrate.co.nz, and of course find out more about Business with Locals. It's a really, really cool thing we've got going. We'd love to share it with many people as we can.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, Skinny Dean.
Cheers, mate. Come on there, everyday people and everyday people. And again.